Hey, Mr. Boo. Well, you leaving? Mr. Boo's upset. Mr. Boo's upset because Maleficent wanted to play with him, and he didn't want to play with Maleficent, so he smacked her, and then now he's upset. Oh, Maleficent. She says, I don't know why he smacks me. I didn't do nothing wrong. I know, you're a baby. You ready? Here, let's see what happens if we hit the button. We hit the button for the kitten. I thought about putting this out when all of the kittens were here, but I was kind of afraid with 5 of them that they would just simply destroy it. Because I know Abra's outside. Is Abra out? I think Abra's out. I can't keep track. But she gets really rough. Oh, here comes Boo. You gonna play with it, Boo? You like that toy? Boo's like, I don't like having this kitten's bothering me. Well, I got rid of 4 of them, Boo. We still have Jack. She's doing really well. I was worried that she'd miss her siblings. She cried a little bit, but she didn't really seem like she wanted to look for them. You know, when I had Niffler, and I had him, and I had, because Susan adopted one of the kittens from the colony back then. So I had Niff, and I had I called him Rocket. They renamed him to Apollo. So I had Niff and Apollo here, and they were buddies because they had been at that horrible rescue together, and I guess because they were from the same colony, they just hung out, and they were very close. They were, I don't want to say they weren't, I don't think they were bonded, but they were buddies. No, they weren't really, I wouldn't say they were bonded. I'd say they were just good friends. Like Abra and Boo are. You know, so when Rocket left, Niff he cried and cried and cried and walked around the apartment looking for him and cried. And that's when I brought Fury in, thinking that him and Boo would be friends, and it turns out that actually Niff and Masu are more buddies than Boo and Niffler. But you know, you never know. I mean, they're like us. They have different personalities. You get along with different, you know, not everybody gets along. I mean, there are people that, you know, you gravitate to, and there are other people that you just like, ugh, that person just gives me the creeps, and you want to stay away. So, and then there are the people that you think are okay and they turn out not to be, so that's a whole other issue. And that sometimes happens with cats too. Hi, Boo. Come on, you going in? He's behind me. Go on. Go see Maleficent. Go play. You can play. You can play with the toy with Maleficent. She's not going to bother you. You going to get up there and do a buoy roll? There you go. Play with her. Good job. Good job. Before I turned this on, Boo was hitting the button. So it's funny because he knows, he obviously remembers me turning the button on to make it work. So he obviously knows how to get that started. He just can't figure out how to do it on his own. But I had someone that wrote a really long comment about their foster cat, and they want to keep the foster cat, but the other cats don't really get along with the foster cat. Kind of a situation with Jack. And I told that person that I'll try to do a dedicated video to that. I mean, look, folks, I'm not a vet tech. I'm not a cat behavioralist, an animal behavioralist. You know, don't have a PhD behind my name. I just know what works for me, and I've been lucky enough to been able to pick the brains of a lot of people that do know what they're talking about. So I can at least pass that on and what works for me. And I mean, the one thing that I found that works for me is modifying all the trauma-informed care training that I've had, and modifying that to work with cats instead of people, because a lot of the techniques that you're taught to use with other humans really work with animals too. I mean, I think there's really a movement now of using trauma-informed care techniques with animals. I mean, and that's one of the things. They're going to have different personalities, and you can't force it. And you can't, you know, if one's showing aggression or something, it's not going to help to punish that one. It's just there's, I mean, I've been very lucky that I've never had a situation where I've had actual all-out aggressive fights among my cats. I think a lot of that is because they're from the same colony. The worst that I've had is Jack, but we know now what's wrong with Jack, or what was wrong with Jack. He didn't want to be outside. He was an indoor cat, and he was frustrated. I mean, look at him now. He's like, that's what he's been doing all morning. He's just sleeping. I gave him some breakfast this morning. He has to have he has new medication, so I have to wait a certain amount of time before I can switch him over. What's the matter, Boo? Go down and play with her. Go on. You can. No, you want to go in the room? Okay. And the other thing too, that's important is, you basically, when they come in, I treat them like the other cats, so they're not really getting an excessive amount of special attention or anything. I mean, the kittens had to have some special attention because they're kittens, but, you know, it's not that I ignore all my older guys and concentrate everything on her. They still get plenty of love. And she also knows that if one of them, like if one of them smacks her and she rolls over and she, she becomes submissive. If I'm there and I see it, that's another reason why it's good to have your kittens crated when you can't supervise, especially when you have older cats around and adult cats around, because they can hurt. Oh, I think it just turned off. I'll have to turn it back on, Maleficent. It turns off after a certain amount of time. Okay. I put it on fast speed now. It'll help get some of that kitten energy out too, since she doesn't have her siblings to play with. And sometimes it's just as simple too as just removing them from the situation. If you see one, like Abra, I see when Abra's getting very upset. If Abra's getting upset and she's starting to hiss or growl, I'll either distract her, I'll give her a churu or something and give her some extra attention, or try to pull out a toy, or I'll physically pick her up and I'll walk her into the other room and just hold her and pet her a little bit till she calms down. So, I mean, there's things that you can do. I know that sometimes it's not easy, especially people that work. And, I mean, I'm on disability, so I don't want to say I'm fortunate that I don't have to work, because I would much rather be able to work or have a business and not have to worry about, all the crap that's going on right now at the federal level. But it's easier in the respect that I'm here and I can devote time to them, that someone who works might not be able to. So those are just a couple of tips. I'll do a more dedicated video at some point. I just have to find the time to do it. Because I have a couple of I have several requests from people of what they would like to see next, so I'm working on that. And plus I have this little girl here. And in a couple of days, when she becomes more used to being, I mean, she's doing really well with not having her siblings around. We're going to have to move that. That's creeping closer and closer to my feet. Alright, everyone. I'm going to end it there. Thanks for watching. Bye for meow.